Alright, in this video I'll be showing you how to get started with product options in BigCommerce. We're going to be going over how to create product options. I'm going to show you what the available options are that you can use, and then how to set up option sets with your BigCommerce products. The goal of this video is to give you a basic understanding of how product options work within BigCommerce, so then you have the knowledge required to set up product options for your specific BigCommerce store. Your first question is most likely, what are product options? Product options are the attributes to each product that allow you to offer different choices to the consumer, such as size, color, style, and so forth. Product options can be displayed in many different ways, such as checkbox, date field, a file upload, a multi-line text field, multiple choice, numbers only text field, product list, color swatch, and a normal text field. Today we'll be looking at a product case study. It's an example product that needs to be set up within the BigCommerce shopping cart using product options. Here you're going to see the name of the product. It's a Puma Speed Cat. For any of those that want to know what that is, it's actually a shoe. It has a SKU, price, weight, and product description that we'll be using. And the different product options that we need to set up are color, style, size, and width. Let's begin to add our example product to our BigCommerce store. For this specific scenario, I've created a new BigCommerce store. And I'm now logged into the control panel for that BigCommerce store. We're going to need to create a new product by going to Products, Add a Product. We're going to leave it on Physical Product and then put in the name of our sample product. And then the SKU. Now I'm gathering all of this information from what I already have created here. I'm going to create a new category called Shoes. Click Save, and we're going to put this within the Shoes category. I'm going to place my product description into the description area. Set that up as bulleted points. Scrolling down, I'm going to put my base product price in for $75. You also have the option here to do cost priced. If I purchased this for $60 and I was making $15 profit, I would put that in there. The cost price is not visible to the public. Retail price $75, and then if I had these on sale, I could put a sale price in there. I'm not going to do that for this example. The weight, 12 ounces. Now I'm going to save and exit. And then I'll need to go back into this product to continue doing this. Products, and then View Products. It'll be in the top here, my Puma Speed Cat. Now let's add some product images. I'm going to click on Images/Videos, upload an image, and I have several images on my desktop that I want to use here. So I have the primary image and several secondary images. Save and keep editing. I recommend that you do that every time that you make a change to your site, just to be on the safe side. When we're setting up this example product, we're going to be using 4 product options. And within those product options, we're going to have multiple choices that you can select from. The first product option is going to be color, and within that choice, we will offer blue, brown, and black. The second product option is style, where you can choose either men's or women's. The third product option is size, where you can choose the shoe size. And the fourth product option is width, where there's only one choice to select, called medium. Before we proceed with adding this example product into our store, I want to take you through the following diagram where I explain to you how the options affect the base product. In this scenario, I've gone through and I've selected specific options on the product level, and it actually changes the outcome of the price and the item that is ordered. At the top of the diagram, we start out with the base product, the Puma Speed Cat. This base product is $75. Now we need to choose options for the product. So option 1, color, I've chosen Insignia Blue. And then we're going to have a rule that says if you choose Insignia Blue, add $5 to the base cost. Product option 2 is style. We're going to choose men's. And then we're going to create a unique SKU that identifies this specific combination. And you can see the SKU is actually the product name abbreviated, Insignia and Blue abbreviated. You can create the SKU as whatever you like. You could also add a 9 in there since we're going to choose size 9 and possibly MED for medium. However you want to define or identify this specific option combination. We're going to then have a rule that says, since you chose men, don't show women's sizes. Product option 3 is size. We're going to choose size 9. And then product option 4 is width. And as stated in the previous slide, medium is the only choice. And once we've done all of those, the final completed price is $80, 75 plus 5. Now if you need to, you can create multiple rules throughout this process that add or subtract from the base price. In this scenario, I only added $5 on one of the rules. Now that I have the base product information inputted in here, let's start on creating the options. The first thing that we need to do is create the individual options themselves. Let's go to Products, and then click on Product Options. Click on Create an Option, and this option name is going to be called Style. Choose a multiple choice. Click Next. And I'm going to put men's and women's in here. This is going to be a radio button. I'm going to save it. I'm going to create another option. And again, I'm just going off of this table here. We did style. I need to do color. The first choice is internal, the second is what the customers see. Multiple choice, click Next. You have several options here. I'm going to keep it on radio. Again, I'm just following the colors, or insignia blue, that's what I meant to say there. Java brown. And then black. Click Save. Now I need to add my sizes. I'm going to do a multiple choice again. Click Next. And for this, I'm going to choose Select. And then we can add the values in here for the different sizes. And once you've added all of the values for the size, go ahead and click Save. So we have color, size, style. I'm going to create another option. We're going to call this width. This is going to be multiple choice. Medium, and click Save. So we've created all of the options from this table that we're going to then add into an option set. The next common question that we get would be, what are product option sets? The answer is that product option sets enable you to group product options together in an organized manner in order to assign the entire option set to a product. It's important to know that in order to assign options to a product, you must first define the product option set. An example of this would be if you sell several sizes and colors of t-shirts, then both the options for size and color need to be included within the option set that you can then name and apply to the product. Now that may sound a little bit confusing, however, I'm going to walk you through the process of doing this in your store. Here is another diagram that demonstrates the relationship that the product option set has with the options and then with the choices within those options. Now in order to clear that up, I've gone ahead and done it in a table form, and I've actually put my example product in there. So first you have to have a product, my Puma Cat Speed, and then I've created an option set also labeled Puma Cat Speed option set. Within that option set I have 4 product options: style, color, size, and width. And then you then have the choice to choose either men or women's, either blue, brown, or black, the size that you would like, and the width. The only option is medium in this example. I'm going to click on the tab for option sets. It's telling us we don't have one. Click Create an Option Set, and this is where we can name it. And again, you can name the option set whatever you like. I'm just doing this for this example. We're going to add color, style, size, and width. And you can see they're now below. They've been added. Now, if I wanted to only show 2 of the 3 colors, I could do that by unchecking them here. However, I'm not going to do that because I want all of them to appear. And this is also where you make the option required or not. I'm not going to change this. I was just clicking on it so everyone can see that this is where you would do that from. Cancel. You can do the same thing with style. if you didn't want one of these to be a choice. If you're creating the option set for multiple products, this is a good way to create an option set and use it on multiple products that you want to hide, certain colors from across the board. I'm going to need to save and exit. And what we've just done is we've created the options, and then we've created the option set and added those options to the option set. Now let's talk about how to assign a product option. Product options can be created and assigned to products as part of the option set. Now, the next thing that we'll need to do is we'll need to assign this option set to the product that we created. I'm going to go back and view my products. I see my Puma Speed Cat here. I'm going to edit my product. And now I'm going to click on Options and choose the option set that I created. Save and keep editing. One of the really cool things that you can do with the new product options is that you can identify every option combination by a unique SKU. If you click on SKU Builder, you can create specific SKUs for your product options. Create a SKU, and from the example that we had in our diagram, I'm going to go ahead and go off of that when building our first SKU and rule. Alright, there's the SKU. You have the option for a UPC if you'd like it. And we can say that this was insignia blue, that it was men's, it was size 9, and it was a medium width. Now that combination, I'm going to go ahead and put a 9 on here too, just because that's the size that it is. Now we've just created a SKU for that specific option combination. That combination of options can now be identified by one SKU. Now that we have a base product created with an option set, we can now go over how you can add rules into that option set. Rules are added at the product level, and they allow you to control what is presented to the consumer on the storefront based on the options that are chosen. You can create several different rules. The rules that you can create are as follows. You can adjust the price, the weight, the availability for purchase, the image shown, or you could stop processing rules. Now let's click on Rules. Now I'm going to create the rules that we talked about in the diagram. I'm going to create a rule that says if you choose this SKU, actually let's back up. We could do it that way. I'm going to say if you choose insignia blue, then adjust the price by adding $5. I'm going to save, and it confirms it. Now it's my first rule that says if blue is chosen, the price goes from 75 to 80. Alright, now we're going to create another rule, and just to refresh your memory, in the diagram, the first change was choosing blue and adding $5. The next rule that comes into play basically says if you choose men's, then don't show women's sizes. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to say that if you choose the style of men's along with a women's shoe size, I'm going to go through and check all of the women's shoe sizes. Then it should be unavailable to purchase. And you can put a custom message in here. Now I'm just informing everyone that women's sizes are unavailable when selecting men's. And then save and close, and now that rule is created. Alright, now I'm going to create another rule, or another set of rules, to change the picture when certain colors are chosen. I'm going to create a rule that says, if you choose Java Brown, then show a different image. I'm going to browse and choose a different graphic, and then save. I'm going to create another rule that says, if you choose black, then show a different image. And the reason I'm not doing this for brown is because brown was already shown as the default image. I'm going to save and close. Now, if you wanted to do other things, you can also adjust the weight based on what is chosen. And then you can stop processing rules. If you had 3 options and you did not want the third option to actually be calculated, you can stop processing rules on the second option. All right. Now I'm going to cancel that. And so what we've done is we've created rules that make this diagram accurate. 75 plus blue is 5 more. Men's, don't show women's, size 9, medium, and then ends up as an $80 purchase. All right. Now let's take a look at our storefront. Here is our product. I'm going to click on it, get us over to the product page, and you can see everything that I've created is now showing up. Insignia blue is 80. If I choose Java brown or black, it'll go down to 75. Also, when I choose Java brown, it shows the brown graphic, or when I choose black, it switches to black, and then insignia blue goes back to that blue shoe color. Those are because of the rules I created. The next product option is going to be the style, men's or women's, and that controls what is available. So since I have chosen men's, I cannot choose women's 10.5. It'll give the custom error message that says women's are unavailable when selecting men's. Now again, this is a little bit unclear. You can change this to whatever you want the custom error message to say. And I just remembered we need to create one more rule on the reverse of that. We need to say that if you choose the style of women's along with a men's shoe size, then they need to be unavailable. Make it unavailable for purchase. And then put your custom error message in. Again, you can put whatever in there. Whatever needs to be in there to relay the message to your customers. Let's reload the product page. Now when I choose women's, and then try to hit a men's size, It says men's sizes are not available when choosing women's. So again, that message can be a little bit more specific to whatever your needs are. However, that's how you do it. Now, the question we get a lot is there a way to make men's not appear in the drop-down when choosing women's? The answer to that is yes, you can do that, but then you would not be able to have men's and women's both on here. You can remove the choice from the drop-down only by removing it from the option set itself, which is what I went over before, showing you how to unselect certain ones. And then I have my alternate images over here. One of the key things that you can do when creating product options is control the inventory for each of those option combinations. It's simple to do that using BigCommerce. All you have to do when editing your product is choose the Inventory tab and then choose that you want to track inventory by options. If you are tracking inventory for your product, you need to go to the Inventory tab and then choose Track Inventory by Options. Save and exit. And now when we edit my product, under the options, under the SKU, you now have stock level. So when you're creating your SKU, you can add a stock of how many you have on stock. And then save, and you can create this however many SKUs you need or stock counts you need. You can do that all from here just by duplicating this. Alright, let's take a look at some of the other product options that you can use. Now that I've gone over the basics of how to set up my example product, I'm going to throw in a couple of extras in here. I'm going to go back to Product Options, click on the Options tab, create an option. I can add a file upload field, a color swatch. Let's talk about the color swatch. I'm going to call this Other Colors, since I've already used the name Colors in a previous option. Select Swatch and hit Next. And let's just put some random crazy colors in here. I accidentally skipped my screen. Alright, that should be efficient for this example. Here's just some random crazy colors I've added. Let's create another option. With product options, you have what's called a product list. And for this example, I'm just going to say, I'm going to call this accessories. And you'll see why I'm doing that in a moment here. So choose product list, hit next, pick list. I'm going to do pick list with photos. Yes, adjust inventory for these products when purchased. Yes, adjust price based on the main product. And then let's choose a product. Now what this does is this lets us actually shoes it lets you add other products to the base item. So we're selling shoes, but what I'm doing is I'm adding a list of other products. They could be accessories to that product. So if I was selling shoelaces or shoe cleaner or shoe storage containers, whatever that may be, you can add those also. I've added 3 here for this example. I'm going to save it. And let's create a text field. And this is where you can ask for information from the customer. So I'm going to say brand of shoes you wear now. Again, this is just an off-the-cuff example of what you might ask someone that's purchasing shoes from you. Click Save. And now that we've added additional product options, let's now modify our option set by going in and editing the Puma Cat Speed option set. So we have our main options. I'm going to start adding all of these additional options. I've got those added in here. Again, if I wanted to only show yellow, orange, and purple, I could unselect pink, click Save, and it would no longer appear on the product page. I'm going to keep it selected for this example. Save and exit your option set. And now we need to go in and edit our product. Products, view products, and then edit the product. Click on Options. Let's refresh our storefront and take a look at what our screen now looks like. So we have our color, our style, our size, our width. In addition to that, we asked the customer what brand of shoes they wear now. And you can put in whatever value you want here. And then we have accessories, and you can purchase an accessory product. It will then adjust the price on this page, as well as take the product inventory count down for 1 if I actually do go ahead and purchase a mouse with my shoes. The other thing is other colors. We have color swatches. And again, you can go through and create rules that say if you choose the pink color swatch, it adds an additional $5 or different things like that. You can create rules for all of the combinations. That's how you add your basic product options within BigCommerce. There are many different ways that you can configure your product options. So this presentation did not cover every available scenario, but rather an overview of the most common usage. The goal of this presentation was to be informative and provide you with the basic understanding of the product options and how they work in order to equip you with the knowledge required to set up products with options within your own store. It's important to know that if you continue needing some assistance or help with your BigCommerce store, you can find valuable information at our support portal, which is support.bigcommerce.com, or you can give our support team a call and/or open up a support ticket. All of that information is on our support portal, and we're happy to help you with your questions and get you pointed in the right direction for continuing to build out your BigCommerce store and be successful selling online.